Welcome children. Take out your English literature book. Longman Impressions Revised Edition Part 6. Chapter 1 Before the Examination. In my last video, I have already explained how Swaminathan's father became too strict before the examination. Now let's start the story. Mani realized that the other would not stop and butted in. There is only a week before the examination, sir. Mani came to know that the school clerk will not stop. And so he interfered and said that only a week is left for the examination, sir. The clerk was slightly puzzled. Yes, indeed, a week more. You must take care to choose only the juicy variety and large juicy variety, not the small onion. Now, the clerk, at first, he was little bit puzzled, means he was little bit surprised and said that, yes, only a week, and so you must be too careful while choosing. You must choose a juicy variety, but not a small onion. Sir, Mani interrupted, ignoring the juicy variety. I am much worried about my examination. He tried to look pathetic. Now, Mani interrupted. He ignored the juicy variety and said that he's too much worried about his examination, and he tried to show himself that he's looking too pathetic. I'm glad. If you read well, you will pass, said the oracle. Now the oracle, here oracle refers to the clerk. He said that I'm very much happy, but if you read well, you will surely pass. You see, sir, I'm so worried. I don't sleep at nights thinking of the examination. If you could possibly tell me something important, I have such a lot to study. Don't want to study unnecessary thing that may not be necessary for the examination. Now, he said that, clerk said that, Mani said that, you see, sir, means he told the clerk that he was too much worried and he doesn't sleep at night. Always he thinks about the examination. And if you could possibly, then he asked the clerk that if it is possible for him to tell him some important, and because he had to study a lot and he doesn't want to study any unnecessary things. He mentored thus. The clerk understood that he was driving at what, but said, just read all your portions and you will pass. Now, the clerk, he took a winding position and then confusion, and then the clerk understood that what Mani was going to say. So he said that you just read all the portions and then only you will be able to pass. Mani realized that diplomacy was not his line. He asked bluntly, please tell me, sir, what questions are we getting for our examinations? Now Mani came to know that cleverness will not help in this line. So he straightforward asked, please, sir, please tell me the questions. Which questions are we going to get for our examination? Now the clerk denied having any knowledge of the question. Now the clerk refused that he doesn't know anything about the question paper. Mani flattered him by asking if he didn't know the question, what else would? Now Mani started flattering. He started flattering and asking that if he doesn't know the question, then who else would know? But just a little more of the same judicious flattery, the clerk was moved to give what Mani believed to be valuable hint. But after a little, just about little more hints, a little bit flattering, careful flattering, the clerk, he was too much impressed what Mani believed that what is the valuable hint. In spite of the fact that he didn't know what the first form of text were, the clerks ventured to advise. Now, in spite of the fact that when clerk was too much impressed of the Mani, he started giving Mani some valuable hint. He knew that he doesn't know what is the first form of text. Now the clerk carefully advised Mani, you must pay particular attention to geography. What he said that he needs to practice. He needs to give more attention to the subject geography. You will be practice map drawing a lot. Then he said that he had to practice a lot about the map drawing. And in arithmetic, make it a point to solve at least 5 problems every day, and you will be able to tackle arithmetic as easily as you shallow plaintiffs. Now, he said that in arithmetic, it is very necessary that regularly you have to solve 5 problems. Then easily you can solve the arithmetic problems. And what about English? Now, Mani asked, what about English? Oh, don't worry about that. have you read all your lesson? Now he said that. Now the clerk said that don't clerk advised Mani not to worry about that and asked that if he had read all the lesson. Yes, sir, Mani replied without conviction. Now Mani replied yes, without any hesitation. That's all then. You must read all the important lessons again, and if you have time, yet again, and that will be ample. Now he said that it's then right, it's then right. You must have read all the important lessons again, and if you get time again, then you revise it again. These answers satisfies Mani greatly. Now Mani was greatly satisfied at this answer. On his way home, he smiled to himself. Now while going home, what happened? Mani smiled to himself and said that the 4 annas he had invested on brinjals, after all, not after all of waste. Now he smiled to when he was returning home. Mani smiled to himself. He said that after all he had spent 4 annas and that annas had not got wasted on brinjal. Mani felt important. He secretly petted his classmates who had to coolly work without the valuable hints to lighten the burden. He felt he ought to share his good secret with Swaminathan without divulging the source. Now Mani felt very much important that he would share his secretly. Mani felt all this very important. Now he secretly pitied his classmates. They had pity towards his classmates, and he felt that they would have to coolly do their work without getting any valuable hints to lessen their burden. He felt that is very necessary. Now he felt that he would share his good secrets with Swaminathan without giving any secret information. Now they were going home from the school. Now it was the time when Mani and Swaminathan both were returning home from school. They stopped for a while at the junction at Vinayak, Mudali and Grove Street before parting ways. Now while returning home, they stopped at the main point of the Vinayak Mudali and the Grove Street, where they were going to get separated from each other. Mani said, "Young man, have you any idea what we are getting for the examination?" Mani asked Swaminathan that if he had idea that what they are going to get for the examination. Nothing outside the covers of the textbook. Swaminathan replied that nothing outside the textbook. Mani ignored the humor. Now listen to me carefully. Do you know what I did the last from 7 to 10? Now Mani ignored all this humor, and now he said that listen to me carefully. He told Swaminathan to listen carefully to it. Do you know that what he did the last night, that is from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock? Munched groundnuts. Swaminathan replied that you might have munched groundnuts. Idiot, don't joke. I made 2 maps of India, 2 of Africa and 1 map of Europe. Now Mani told Swaminathan not to joke, and he said that he had practiced 2 maps of India, 2 maps of Africa and 1 map of Europe. Say all the maps in Atlas. Now Swaminathan asked that means you have practiced all the maps in Atlas? Maybe, Mani said, not quite liking the remark. Now Mani said that it may be that he didn't like the remark, but I did it with some definite purpose. He said that he did it with definite purpose. It may be that I know 1 or 2 questions. He said that yes, it may be 1 or 2 questions, but don't let the other fellows know anything about it. Now he said that don't allow other fellows to know anything about it. I may get into trouble, saying that Mani said that not to tell others about it because he may get into trouble. Swaminathan was taken in the other's seriousness and inferred a moral. Now Swaminathan, he was quite moved about that how others are serious, how the students are serious at this indirect suggestion. Reaching home, Swaminathan felt rather dull. When Swaminathan reached home, he felt himself to be looking too much dull. His mother was not in. His mother at that time was not present at home. Granny was not in a talkative mood, and his granny, she was also not in a talkative mood. He stayed near the swing cradle of his little brother. He stayed near the swing cradle where his little brother was lying. Though at first he had been skeptical of his brother's attraction and possibility, at first he had to doubts of his brother's attraction and possibility. Now, day by day, he was finding him more interesting. But as the days were passing, he was finding him to be more interesting. This little one was now 6 months old and was charming. Now, this little baby means Mani's little brother. He was 6 months old and he was quite charming. His attentions were, he made shrill noises whenever he saw anybody. Now, how he made attention? When he used to make different types of noises when he used to see anybody. Thrust his feet into his mouth and damped his round arms up to his elbow. And he used to show different types of movements when he used to see. Means when Swaminathan's little brother used to see anyone. And with this, I am ending my today's class. Goodbye.